everybody, it's Off the Highway. I'm Tony Kriz, and that's Sean Gladding. Sean Gladding, my dear friend, who I just adore. Sean is a minister, a speaker, and a writer. He's written a couple books. One is called The Story of God, The Story of Us. Another one recently just came out. It's called 10, on the 10 Commandments. Sean, thanks for taking a minute to spend some time with me.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure to see your lovely face, Tony.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the Bible, actually, and specifically.
Splendid, because I love talking about the Bible.
Fantastic. Then then you're the right person to call. I'm aware in our culture today, and this is a little bit of a human thing, but I think it's particularly true right now that there's sort of people are bored with the Bible. It's sort of I don't know. It's just sort of lost its luster. It's lost its interest for a lot of people. And I'd love to hear you comment about sort of what us, people who live our lives trying to teach the Bible, how are we framing it poorly? How are we misrepresenting the Bible? How are we misteaching it that's causing this sort of morose around Bible study?
That's a great question and an important question for those of us who think we take the Bible seriously and would love for other people to do so as well. I wonder if part of the challenge at this point of the story unfolding in the United States is that we tend to talk about the Bible in terms of issues. What does the Bible have to say about this topic? What does the Bible have to say about this? And so it boils down to a reactive, responsive book of rules on how to live your life in this area, this hot topic, in whether it's and important things, certainly. And I think that a lot of the folk who get the media's time are perhaps the more shrill voices, and because they generate interest. And the way, at least my experience of the people who get that media time, the way they talk about the Bible, I don't find particularly compelling. And a lot of my neighbors and friends don't either, which is tragic because really, the starting point for any of us who want to, who believe our lives are being shaped by the Bible and would hope that other people might join us in that experience, is that the Bible really is a story. It's not a rule book. It's not a basic instructions before leaving Earth, as I heard growing up, right? But really, it's this beautiful and messy and compelling story full of characters who remind us of ourselves in many ways, in all of our screwiness and brokenness and beauty and passion, who are participating in what God is doing in the world. And it's a story about a God who created a place where all of life could flourish. Not just people, not just the 1%, but all of life, humans, creatures, birds, fish, plants, trees, and our role as humans in this story was to care for the garden, was to care for this beautiful world, to ensure it remained a place where all of life can flourish. And unfortunately, we have abandoned our vocation. We've turned our back on that story and really embraced another way of living and pull out parts of the Bible that kind of basically say, you're not living too badly, so you're doing okay. And just watching this beautiful world that God has created just literally go to hell all around us, and watch people the same. And so the great thing about the story is that God continues to invite us to become part of that story, because God is still very much interested in the world being a place where all of life can flourish. And so when I talk about the Bible with my friends, or if I'm teaching, this is the story I want to tell. And the truth is, when we hear that story and ask, what does that mean for us? People do find that story interesting. People do find that story compelling. Many of my friends who would never even crack a Bible are already living out that narrative in the way they live their lives. And what I think a lot of people are looking for is, wow, you're saying actually you're affirming me because I'm participating in this story already, rather than I'm one of those people that the Christians say are bad, which is how a lot of my friends experience the Bible.
It's great. Everybody, that's Sean Gladding. He's the author of the book 10 and Others. Thank you so much, my friend.
Hey, always great to talk to you, Tony. Cheers.
Cheers.